Hey everybody, Garcia here. Today we're going to be playing our beasts out onto the board, trying to control different regions with those card plays in Animal Kingdoms. Animal Kingdoms here is a light family-style card game in which you are going to be playing cards, following specific rules at different locations, trying to control those locations by having visited that place more than the other players of the table. If you do so, you are going to score some victory points. Like I said, it's a fairly easy hand management game. You'll play a card, draw a card, maybe you'll instead discard some and draw back up. So it has a classic card game feel to the whole thing, with a little twist, with some special rules that you must adhere to if you want to play in that location. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. I'll show you how the game works, and then I'll see you on the other side. The game is going to be played over 3 rounds, or ages as the game calls them, and you are attempting to play your beast cards, these cards, to each of these different kingdoms, trying to control those kingdoms. And if you do so, you are going to score the first token in the first age, the second in the second age, and so on for the third. You are also going to get one of these tokens if you are the first player to pass in each of the 3 ages. And at the end of the game, whoever has the most points, adding all of these that you got, plus any of these that you possibly got, that's going to be the winner, whoever has the highest combination of all of that. So everybody has 4 cards to begin with, and we have set up 3 random tokens, so then you do arrange them in increasing order in each of the kingdoms. We've also assigned a rule to each of them that denotes how you may play. And we are going to reset these cards and the cubes, most of the cubes anyway, controlling the different regions for the second age and then again for the third age from the extra stack over here. And so we are ready to begin. I am going to be the start player here. I've got my cubes. I've got a hand of 4 cards. The cards are going to have a beast, which is basically the suit of the card, as well as a rank, a number. And I will play a card out there. So my choices on my turn are, I can play a card, as long as I'm following the rule. And then if I do so, I will put a cube into one of these locations, making sure that only the absolute last cube, when everything else is filled, is the one that goes here where there is a crown. So you may not play in there if there is space elsewhere on these golden circles. The second choice is I can discard between 1 and 4 cards from my hand, and I will draw a new hand of cards. If I do so, I also score a victory point. And then lastly, I may pass. If I'm the first player to pass, I'm going to take one of these tokens for the age. You may also not do the discard and redraw action if someone has already passed at that point. So be aware of that. Alright, so let's take a look at what the rules in play here are. So this one says odd ranks. I may only play a card here if it has an odd number, even ranks. This is any other kingdom's rank. So if it's the last card showing, and let's say there's a 5 over here, which is the last card showing, then I may play a 5 there. And this one has 2 specific suits that can go in there. So I will start, and I'm going to play here. Because it is a matching suit, I will do that. I'm going to take one of my cubes and place it in one of those locations, and I will draw a new card. It'll be the next player's turn, and the next player is going to take a look at their hand, and they are going to play into this location, which says even ranks. So they may play there, and they will put a cube in that location. They will draw a card. It'll come back to this player, and this player has quite a few even suits there. They've also got some of one of these 2 suits. So they're going to play this one, partially covering the last card played, so that we know which one is the last one. And they will put out a cube into one of those places, draw a new card. This is going to continue around the table until, like I said, the one big change is, well, you could discard and redraw, but then someone's going to drop out. And dropping out happens, again, when you choose to do it, and you take one of these, or when you are forced to do it if you ever play into one of the crown locations. If you do that, then the game immediately forces you to pass. If you are the first one to do it, you'll still get one of these tokens, but you are done. You're going to set your hand down on the table, and you are skipped until everyone else has also passed during the game. So let's go ahead and push the game forward a little bit here, and I'll show you how scoring is going to work out. So here we're taking a look at the end of the first stage. Everyone has passed, everyone has played everything they are going to play. Now we are going to resolve everything we see here. We are starting with the smallest kingdom that only has spaces for 4 cubes. And there is a clear winner here. There are 3 yellow cubes to 1 blue cube. So yellow, and by the way, yellow is also the first one to have passed. They'll keep this secret till the end of the game, but I'll show you here. I've got an extra 5 points. Nobody knows about that. So yellow is the winner here. They're going to score the lowest token on here. So yellow will get 5 victory points. And then you can keep this or you can get rid of it. It's up to you. And then we're going to go to the next one. Before we do that, however, we might as well take care of the cube that is sitting here in the crowned space. If there is one, that cube is going to move to one of these 2 locked locations. It will stay there when we clean up the board, and it is going to give you +1 in that area. So it counts as a cube for all of the upcoming scoring rounds. So that will stay there. The rest of them can be cleared away. So we can get rid of these. We can give them back to the players. Even the cards can be discarded now. Put those away. We go to the next one here. There's a tie. Blue has 2, red has 2. So we have a battle. And the way this works is, there's an alternate rule for it in the rule book, by the way, if you don't like this style, but this is the rule. Both players are going to grab their hand of cards. They are going to play 1 card face down, and whoever plays the highest card is going to be the winner, and they will get first place. So we reveal these. Blue played a 7, and red played a 6, and so blue is going to win it. The only rule to remember here is that a 1 beats an 8. So it wraps around like that. If somebody plays an 8 and the other player thinks they will and plays a 1, the 1 will take it. And if there are 3-way ties, everybody clashes, all of that stuff. So these are gone. The players will replenish their hands in a moment here, but blue took that. And so they are going to score the 6 victory points for blue, and then everybody else is going to go away. One last thing I forgot to mention here in this area is there is a second place scoring as well, where the second place player will get 3 victory points. And a tie for second will be friendly. So everyone who's second gets 3. So blue had a single cube here. I better give them their 3 points. And then over here, blue took their 6, and then red is second place. And red will get their 3 points. The rest of these now can all go away, getting their cubes back. And the cards will also go away. The next one over here is clearly red's. So red is going to get their 5 victory points. And so they go up to 8. And then blue was second place there. They will get 1, 2, 3. These all will go away. And we continue doing that all the way around. Over here, blue will be it, but they will not move up here because no one played into the crown space. And then over here, red will be it. So another 6 for blue, 3 for yellow. Another 6 for red, 3 for yellow. Once that's all done, then the board will look largely like this. These will go away, these will go away. So yellow kept 1 in there, red kept 1 in there. And we are going to get rid of these, and we will play a second stage, putting out new rules to be followed in each of the kingdoms. So let's see the new kinds of things we will get. This one says equal to or lower than the lowest neighbor. And it points to the 2 neighbors on the sides to remind you of that. This one says plus or minus 1 to the last one played. So if the first one played there is a 5, next must be a 4 or a 6. We've got this one, 8 to 1, no skipping. We've got this one is 2 suits again, and then this one says no neighbor's rank or beast. If you intend to play there, it cannot be the last beast played there or the rank, and here as well. So that's what you are doing. Everyone will start again. Now whoever has the lowest score after we've scored, and I did not really do a full scoring here, but whoever had the lowest score would be the start player for the second play. And we do it all out again. Some of these cubes are going to end up in these locations once again for the second round. And then we will set it all up again and play a third time. Once that's all done, you are going to add any of these you've got to your final score, and then whoever has the highest score is going to be the winner of the game. So there you go. Oh, one final thing I forgot to mention. I forgot to mention this. When there is a clash, like you saw between red and blue, the loser gets one of these tokens. One of these +2 tokens. They're going to keep that. If you clash in the future again with someone and you play a card, you may cash this in for a +2 strength, but if you keep it till the end of the game, it's +1 victory point. All right, there it is. Let's go ahead and talk about this. This is a light game. I want to reiterate that because I think it's important for anyone who might be watching this and deciding if this is a game that is for them and perhaps something they want to pick up for someone else. This is a game that I think is going to fit on a lot of kitchen tables around the world when you are playing with non-gaming grandma and nephew, and sort of bringing a group together of folks who just want to sit around, throw down some cards, take it easy for about an hour or so, and play the animal game, right? It would be like, hey, why don't we bring out that animal game? This has that potential. I can see that because it feels simple. It gets out of its own way when it comes to playing, and it has just enough where I think folks are going to want to keep messing with it, right? It might become a tradition, like a monthly tradition for some families. And I like that about it. It's not a game that a lot of folks are going to be into because it is very light. It's a simple card-playing game. But I think what it attempts to do, it does well. And it nails that feeling of sitting around with a family, throwing some cards on the table. So let's break it down, shall we? I'm going to start with the things I thought were a little bit weak, and we're going to end strong because I was positively impressed by this. All right, so thematic ties. The game is basically abstracted, but the theme that they did put in here does not get in the way of teaching. So I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying it doesn't really have a captivating theme. It's not that kind of game. The aesthetics, I think the artwork is good, but I think the components are not great. Card quality is subpar. They are linen finished, but it's not great linen finish. They're very sticky. They don't... It's not high quality cardboard, high quality components here. This is not a game that feels like an heirloom edition of something, right? So be aware of that. And then tactics and strategy and luck. This is not the game you want to come to flex your big brain. It's just not about that. It's a very light game, has a good flow, and feels like a solid family game, but there's not a ton of strategic moments. You'll certainly have choices, but you can make them quickly while keeping the conversation around the table going. I like that. Things I did like. Replayability is surprisingly good in this game for how light it is. All of the little cards that denote how you may play, there's a nice stack of those. They are straightforward, they are neat, they interact with each other sometimes in very clever ways, but again, simple ways. And I just find it has a good amount of setup variability. Where the victory points are, if there's a 7 over there, but only a 5 over here, folks are going to attempt to target that a little bit more. By doing so, they may be leaving this area clear, so maybe I can just swoop in here and take that over without too much effort. I like those things, so that works well. The game length, 3 rounds, is good. It gives you enough time to breathe. It gives you enough time to build up some control over an area, get that free cube to stay out there. But it does not outstay its welcome. It reminds me in a way of trick-taking games, the same style of game, right? Those classic family games, sitting around a table with a mixed age group, family members or friends. But those games often do outstay their welcome. Trick-taking games are often, the end game trigger is a certain number of victory points, or you play 10 hands or something. That's too much. This is not going to outstay its welcome. And then lastly, the ease of play. The game just feels right. Play a card, draw a card. Discard some, and take them back. The couple of minor twists on that, once someone's passed, no more discarding cards and drawing back up. The little things, the little rules are easy, and they add to the replayability considerably so that I don't find them to be detractors to the entire experience. So overall, it's light. It's not my favorite game ever. It's not going to set my gaming table ablaze. But do I like it? Yes. Do I think it has a place in a lot of folks' collections? Yes. Now, are those people watching this video? Unlikely. But I hope this one finds an audience because I think it's a nice little family style card game. So this is going to get a 7 out of 10 from me, which is a seal of approval. That is Animal Kingdoms. This is a nice one, folks. I think you're going to enjoy it. I think it would make a great gift for someone. And the look and the vibe of the game certainly doesn't hurt, though the components I do wish were better. So again, 7 out of 10 from me, seal of approval. That's it, everybody. My name is Z Garcia, and I'll see you on the next one.